offshore wind, solar. Dominion Energy is a leader in the clean energy transition. We're dedicated to providing reliable, affordable, safe, and clean energy as we support and invest in our communities. Dominion Energy is building a clean energy future. Actions speak louder. Welcome to Actions Speak Louder, highlighting Dominion Energy's clean energy projects and community support. I'm Peggy Fox, Dominion Energy Media and Community Relations Manager. Today we're talking about something that it's affecting all of us, higher prices. The cost of everything we buy, including groceries, has gone up. Our mission at Dominion Energy is not only to provide safe, reliable, and increasingly clean energy, but also affordable energy. We strive to keep bills low, and we have many programs that provide assistance and help to our customers. Joining me to talk about these programs is Utibe Bassi, Dominion Energy Vice President of Customer Experience. Utibe, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about Energy Share. It's a signature program. Many people haven't heard of it. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So Energy Share started in 1982, so it is our 40th year. We can talk more about that, but through Energy Share, I would say three things. Customers can get year-round assistance with heating and cooling costs. Customers can get their homes weatherized, and what that means is we work with local agencies to make energy efficient improvements and upgrades to customers' homes. And lastly, through Energy Share, we do a lot of community education and outreach events, really connecting customers with tools and tips to help them save energy, as well as sources of funding beyond Energy Share.
You know, we do have a short video that explains what Energy Share does. I know we work with homeowners, but we also work with shelters and things like that to provide weatherization projects. So take a look at what happened at this homeless shelter for women and children.
My name is Sylvia Jones. I'm the executive director here. When I was first joined Menchville House, I wanted to know the background, the history of the organization. And what I learned was that there were three women that had a desire in their heart to help the homeless population. If you've driven by Menchville House, it's a large 3-story apartment building that was built back in the 70s. So the energy efficiency that you have today is not present in this building. So Energy Share is bringing us up to par with some of those energy saving or cost saving methods that we have today. We have a lot of projects that we don't have funding for, so some of that money can go towards taking care of some of those tasks that we have. Anytime we can keep them warmer, we can save energy, we can save on our utility bills, that's a huge impact already. So any efforts to help us is helping the residents and is extending our mission that's just that much further.
So Utibe, you mentioned just a bit ago that Energy Share is 40 years old.
That's right.
What is the significance of that, the fact that we are hitting the 40th anniversary?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very significant. So, you know, Energy Share started originally as a heating assistance program for dire need, and it's evolved over the last 40 years to be a year-round program providing heating and cooling assistance. It's evolved to include weatherization, which we just learned about. It's also evolved to this, you know, real staple in the community where we provide, you know, support, connect customers with other funding sources, and give customers tools and tips to save energy. And so I would say that's really changed and evolved in line with customer need.
Well, the fact that it's been around so long obviously means that there is customer need.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Now, on this day, you and I and many other people were out at a home in Fairfax, weatherizing a home as part of our 40 Homes in 40 Days project. Talk a little bit about what this project is.
Sure. And so in celebration or in acknowledgement of the 40 years, we've initiated a 40 Homes in 40 Days initiative, as you've just said. And the goal is we've committed to weatherizing 40 homes within a 40-day period, meaning we're going to go to 40 different homes, perhaps even more, across the state and work with local partners to make these homes more energy efficient. That could include things like, you know, replacing heating and cooling systems, providing more energy efficient appliances, changing out light bulbs, looking at windows to make sure those windows are insulated, providing overall insulation to the home. So there are many different things that we can do, but over the next 40 days, that's what we're going to be doing.
And I'm not sure if people understand the importance of weatherization and what that does to your energy bills when you can keep the air, if you're cooling your air, keep the cool air in, or if you're heating your air. And they can make a huge difference, right? All the different weatherization projects.
That's right. So it's not only saving energy, it's saving you money, right? And so there's definitely a direct correlation between how energy efficient your home is and how much money you can save on your energy bill. And so these efforts are not just to save energy, they will show up in the customer's bills as having them have lower bills.
So you talked about the 40 days, 40 homes in 40 days initiative. Now we always do this stuff. We are always weatherizing homes. This is a year-round program, this is the 40 homes in 40 days is really to make people more aware of Energy Share.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's really about awareness. It's a way, of course, acknowledging the 40-year anniversary, but really want to use as an opportunity to raise awareness. Like, this help is available.
Right.
This help is available. It's literally here for customers and for that very reason. Since we started Energy Share 40 years ago, we've helped well over 850,000 individuals and families with energy needs. We've weatherized over 21,000 homes. And so we want to make sure that through this 40 homes in 40 days initiatives, we're really, really driving awareness that these resources are available.
And how do you qualify? You have to qualify if you're going to receive help through Energy Share.
That's right. So I will say this: it's not an income qualified program, right? It's really about need. And so the easiest way is to call 211 or to go on www.211virginia.com. And through that, you'll be connected with a local Energy Share provider who will then help assess your application and determine what you're qualified for.
So I mentioned the home where we were just a few hours ago on this day, September 16th, 2022. And this is a home of Ron and Lisa Sutterth. And these folks have found themselves in a crisis, a health crisis that just has been sort of snowballing over the years. And if you can imagine, that is just a mental strain and also a financial strain. So they got to a point where they did not have any heating or cooling for 4 years. Really a desperate situation. So fortunately, they found Energy Share, and I'd like you to take a listen. I did a little interview with Ron Sutterth, and here's what he had to say.
Oh yeah, I see you coming.
I've never been one to ask for help. I've always been the breadwinner. I've always taken care of my family. Always have done the best I could. And then, when you run into that situation where you can't do that anymore, it's bad. It's been 4 years since we had heating and air conditioning. Some family members knew, but as far as my neighbors, my coworkers, my friends, no, I was too embarrassed to say anything. I didn't have the money to put in a whole new air conditioning unit. Didn't have the money to fix everything. My wife, disabled since 1996. She's also had a lot of other health issues to deal with. Even with having excellent health insurance, we still had a lot of out-of-pocket expenses for health, and it just got to a point where we were overwhelmed. I couldn't maintain my home like it should have been taken care of. And then when one thing goes, and then you let another thing and something else goes, and it just snowballs to the point of where you can't recover. You can't recover. And here we are, thanks to Dominion and its program that, I didn't even know about, and a lot of people don't know about it. And they should know about it, because it's very helpful to people like me that need the help.
One of the best things you can do for your home energy-wise is to make sure your home is tighter and well insulated. And the biggest bang for your buck is to focus on your attic, because that's where a lot of the majority of your air leaks will be happening. So for this home, we're going to be vacuuming out the existing attic insulation in the attic, and then we'll air seal the attic floor, and then we'll blow in an additional 17 inches of fiberglass.
It's been hectic, but very pleasant. I've met a lot of nice people today. Everybody's helping my family. Great program, and it wouldn't be around for 40 years. I mean, 40 years, and I'm here today, you know, this week, getting the help that I need to make my house better, make my situation better. Very happy, you know, very thrilled to have the help. I can't find the words really to say how grateful I am for the help. It's been hectic because there's a lot of work to do, but it's been very nice, and I'm overwhelmed, but in a good way,
So I really want to thank Ron and Lisa Sutter for allowing us to come out and share the weatherization projects with everyone and talk about his pain and everything that he had to deal with. You know, Utibe, you heard him say that he was embarrassed. You know, for the past 4 years, no heating or cooling. They were really in a desperate situation, but they were afraid to ask for help. And, you know, I think he realizes now, and he wanted to talk because he wanted other people to know. And I said, you know, the program exists because there are people who are in need.
That's exactly right. You know, we really are here to help. The entire focus, goal, objective of the program is to provide help. There's no other, you know, there's no other angle. And so really would encourage anyone who thinks, even if they think that they might qualify or they think they might need the help, to please reach out through those through 211 and the resources that we provided, or going on our website, because everyone at some point needs help. Everyone at some point needs help, and this help is available for those customers. And so I'm really happy that Ron is being a voice for this in this moment.
I mean, here he was. He was employed for many years. He retired, and he always was the breadwinner and took care of everything. And then, you know, he realized he was in a situation that he couldn't take care of the home. He really just focused on his wife, which is wonderful. And, you know, of course, anybody would do that. But then his HVAC system died, and he didn't have the money to replace it. So, and then, you know, you're sitting there without, you're just trying to be safe and live someplace that's comfortable. But we really want people to reach out if they're in a situation like this.
That's absolutely right. Because, you know, putting ourselves in his shoes, the bills keep coming, right? And so you have to start making decisions. Or do I pay this bill or that bill? And over time, that's the thing that they did not focus on, replacing the HVAC. And that's essentially what we're here for, right? If anyone is at risk of losing their primary heating or cooling source, absolutely reach out to Dominion Energy through 211. Energy Share is literally there to help.
Really, and 211, easy numbers to remember.
That's right.
Kind of like 911, but 211 call, that's the Energy Share. That they can connect you with that. Tell us a little bit about how the program works. So if you are someone in need and you call up, how does Dominion Energy then get the Energy Share program working? Who do we contact? Because I know we don't do it ourselves. We have many partners, right?
We have a lot of partners across the state. We have a lot of partners. So when you reach out through 211 or going on the website, you will get connected with a local Energy Share partner. That partner will receive your application, assess the application, and then connect you with Dominion Energy. And so we rely on our partners to be the front line. Of course, we are there to support our partners and our customers at every step. But the partners do the assessment based on need, and based on that, they bring Dominion Energy in, and then we show up, whether it's through billing assistance or weatherization or any other resources that we can point people to.
So at the Sutter house, they had, not only did they need a new HVAC system, but they also needed air conditioning, you know, the whole thing. So we would then, our partners contract somebody, and they come out and they have to take out the old one, which is work.
Yeah, so they start, most of the time, they start with an audit and assessment.
I got you.
So they go into their homes before any of the contractors come. They go into their homes and they take a look, and they're really looking for what is in this home that's making it inefficient from an energy perspective. So they're looking at windows, looking at doors, looking at cracks. Of course, they're looking at the insulation. In this case, they're looking at the entire system. And then based on that, our partners then know what sort of resources and skills are needed to make the home more energy efficient. And I think in this case, we did a little bit more. We worked on the outside and the aesthetics of the home, really just trying to be there as a partner to this family that's gone through so much.
Yes. He couldn't take care of the outside either. You can imagine you're dealing with someone who has chronic and very serious health issues. That was his number one focus. But he was embarrassed, that the weeds had grown and he wasn't able to take care of it. So we had volunteers who came out and helped clean things up and plant some flowers and fix a fence. He had a fence that was in disrepair as well.
That's exactly
So
right.
we have a lot of folks at Dominion that know how to do stuff, as I say.
They know how to
They
do
can build
stuff.
stuff and do stuff.
And they're so willing, I think that's such a big, strong part of the Dominion Energy culture. Like I
Yeah.
spoke to so many people today who are like, I heard about the opportunity and I decided to come right out without
Exactly.
really any other reason but
Mhm.
being willing to help.
Yes, and they also in their little backyard, they had a walkway that was kind of unsafe because it was just hard to walk on.
Yeah.
So we tried to even that out and make it safe. That's our number one top core value is safety. So we're always very concerned about
Absolutely.
leaving things safe and making them safe, and
That's
being
ab-
safe.
That's absolutely right.
I know also that we did the insulation for them. How important is that with weatherization? This is a townhome that was built in the 70s, so has some insulation up there. But the new insulation that they make nowadays is much more efficient or
Much
better.
more efficient, much more effective. Yeah, insulation plays a huge role in how much, I think you said earlier, how hard your HVAC system works.
Oh, I see.
Right. So the harder your systems work, your heating and cooling systems work, the more energy it consumes and the higher your bill is. And so insulation it's better for the environment, of course, right? Because you're conserving energy, but it also helps you save money. And so that's a core thing. I think one of the things, and we can talk more about other tips that people can use in terms of looking to make their homes more energy efficient. One of the major things is looking at the insulation in your home.
Yeah, so these folks came in and first they had to go up and vacuum up the old insulation. It's quite a process.
Yeah.
Vacuum the old stuff up. And then they were going to spray some foam spray. What do they call that? Foam insulation, something. They spray that down in the cracks.
Yeah.
And what that does then is what they explained it to me, make the home tighter. And what you're talking about is the HVAC system has to work harder if you have leakage.
That's exactly
If you
right.
have your air that's nicely cooled in the summertime escaping easy through cracks, then your AC works harder.
Works
And vice
harder.
versa in the wintertime when you're heating your home and that heat escapes easily, then your HVAC is going to work a lot harder.
That's exactly right. And so particularly with older homes, I think that's a thing that, we all have to be mindful for with older homes, because over time these things wear down and we can start to notice our bills go up when we're saying, hey, I'm not using that much, more energy or less energy, but the bill continues to rise. Those are the things to look for, because that plays a huge role in your bill.
Yeah. So now we're doing tips. Let's get to the tips. If people think, that they could conserve some energy, or maybe they think, I don't remember this HVAC costing me so much money. What can people do to save energy in their own homes?
Absolutely. There are a range of things, and I'll share a few when I direct people to resources. Some really basic ones is if you're not in the room, turn off the light. If you're not using the appliance, unplug it. These things really do add up. I know it's sometimes easy to forget, but those things add up. Another thing is be mindful of where your vents are. Just make sure your vents aren't blocked. If your vents are blocked, again, it takes a lot more, energy for that cool air, that hot air to make its way through a room. So watch for rugs, watch for furniture that are blocking vents.
I
Those
didn't
things
know
make a
this.
difference.
You're telling me so you should not have a bed right in front of the vents.
Yeah, because then you're trying to cool the room. It just
Yeah.
again takes a little bit more
You're
energy.
cooling your bedspread.
You're cooling your bedspread, right? And energy efficient light bulbs, will
Yes.
always make a difference. Can really again extend the life of the light bulb if it's more energy efficient, and it
Yeah.
saves you money. There are a range of things: checking for insulation, looking for leaks in your windows and doors. All these little things that compounded together make a difference in the bill.
Let me ask you this, and maybe I'm going to stump you, I doubt it, but if you have a room that you're not using, say, I don't know, you had a college kid go away and move out, and you have this room that's not being used, should you block the vents? And should you close off the vents or not?
It's a good question. I'll gander. I'll gander a response and say you should probably block them.
Okay.
I'm going to defer to an expert there. I think the whole idea is that you're for the places that you need, things cooled or things heated up, like the air is free. But if you're not using the room, I'd say you should probably find a way to mitigate that.
These are
You should
great
block them.
tips.
Yeah.
No, I also know we have a lot of tips on our website.
There's
right?
a lot of tips on our website. Search for energy efficiency. There are a lot of tips. And I think really because our goal is to help our customers save energy and save money. And, like there's also things about considering when you use certain appliances, being aware. And just as a little of a segue to our mobile app, we do have what we call usage alerts. And so in the same way you might have with your credit card company, the ability to tell them, hey, if I hit a threshold of spending, let me know, alert me. We can do that with our energy usage. And so you can set a threshold, right? You can see how much energy you've used over the past few months and say, if I exceed this amount, alert me. That's also a great way for folks to sort of be aware of what's driving their energy and be able to plan better.
In the summertime, when you're trying to keep your home cool, we do advise people to keep it at a certain level that might help to avoid higher costs, right?
Yes, we do.
78 degrees,
That's
I believe.
right.
Yeah. Some people don't like that. I think it's just fine, but other folks like it much cooler during the hot months. But, then it depends on how hard your system's going to work.
System's going to work. And I think that's where sometimes the size of the apartment or the home might play a role. How energy efficient the home is might play a role. I personally like it cooler when I can get it cooler, but I do think that those are definitely best practices.
And something else I recently learned that if you should not run your dishwasher or washing machine or anything that might use a lot of energy or even put moisture back in your house, you should not be running those during the peak times of day during the summer.
That's another great tip. I think that really does force. I think there are definitely better times, and that's also some tools that we have as well on our website.
Yes.
There are better times through which to run high equipment that really takes a lot of energy. That's true.
You can sign up too for different sort of bill paying structures, time of use and things like that.
That's absolutely right. So one of the things that we have is budget billing, and through budget billing, a customer can have a fixed monthly bill, right? So it really starts to mitigate any surprises in your bill, and especially when you have weather changes, because weather is really linked to the bill for the reasons we just discussed. And so budget billing, your bill is a fixed amount that's set over a 12-month average. And so we look across 12 months and we say that's a good average for your bill, and it's a fixed amount. So that's one other tool, but you can sign up for time of use rates and budget bill as well.
So it will tell you if you, so if you get some spike, then you won't be paying for the spike.
Exactly.
You just more.
It's mitigated.
Yes, and that's easier to handle.
It's easier to handle, easier to plan. It sort of absorbs the shock of seasonality, with the weather patterns, et cetera.
I think something that we are emphasizing, but I would like to state it, and that is that the largest demand on your energy bill is your heating and cooling.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely your heating and cooling. And that's why, the weather plays a role. A lot of times we get a lot of customers who call, hey, my bill is really high. I think oftentimes we pointed to the weather as number one. Any changes, of course, in appliance usage, or maybe, some people may have had guests over, things like that. But I will say the weather. And because of tied to the weather, it's really how hard your heating and cooling systems run, which brings us back to weatherization, which is why it's such a big focus for us in terms of helping people be more energy efficient.
What about on nice days opening the windows? Good thing or bad thing?
If you're, as long as your heating and cooling systems aren't sort of working to compete with whatever temperature of air is, then it's possibly a good thing. So some days where it's cool enough, I think today is a day, I think we're in the 70s, I'm not sure, at least in the mornings.
Yeah, it's cool in the morning. We're in September right now.
Exactly. And so you don't need to run the system. You can let the natural air sort of cool the home. So I would say as long as it's not competing with the system, then it's more energy efficient.
What other tips do you have off the top of your head about saving energy?
Yeah, I'd say, if on a hot day, close your drapes. Again, it's really about focusing on keeping things cool, making sure that your systems aren't running, close the refrigerator. Leave the refrigerator door open.
Anybody who has teenagers, it's like, close the door. What are you doing? Stand there at the fridge looking at it. That really wastes a lot of energy.
All of those things waste energy, and just being aware, right? I think part of what we want to do is, if customers may not necessarily need energy share, at least we want to also drive awareness that we really do play some role in our energy usage and consumption, and we really want customers to understand the ways that they can influence that.
And exactly, that's why I thought this would be a good topic to let everyone know all these tips, but also the fact we do have Energy Share. And let's just run over that again in case people are just tuning in.
Yeah.
What is Energy Share and what does it do and why should people call it if they need it?
Absolutely. Energy Share is Dominion Energy in Virginia's program to help customers. I will say there are three things that we get through Energy Share as a customer. One is year-round heating and cooling assistance, or year-round assistance with heating and cooling costs. Number two is weatherization. And so through weatherization, we work with local partners to make upgrades to customers' homes to make their homes more energy efficient so that they're saving money and saving energy at the same time. And thirdly, through Energy Share, we do a lot of community outreach, a lot of community education, helping customers understand how they can save money and save energy, as well as connecting them to other funding sources.
A lot of great information there.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to go home and close the drapes and no. No, but that's true. If you have bright sunshine coming in, that heats up your room.
It does.
And so anytime you can, keep it out, and there's just so many great tips that we have on our website.
On our website, dominion.com. And if you search for energy efficiency, search for Energy Share, all of these resources and tools are available. But really and truly, the bottom line is we are here to help. We are here to help. We are here to help. If there are any customers who are listening and they say, I wonder if I qualify, or I may qualify, or let me learn more about if my home qualifies for weatherization, or hey, I've been really struggling to pay my bill over a certain amount of time, that's what Energy Share is for, and that's what we're here for.
Right, just make the call. And if you don't remember the name Energy Share, you will remember the number 211.
That's exactly right.
And you can just dial 211?
Dial 211, you get connected to a local Energy Share partner, and from there we can assess the need and of course provide the resources for you.
We talked earlier about the homeowner and how he was embarrassed and afraid to reach out. Just find out if maybe you would qualify and get some help.
It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that.
Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, T-Bay. And thank you so much for watching Actions Speak Louder. We hope you join us next time to learn more about how Dominion Energy is working toward a sustainable future while supporting our customers and communities. And you can find links to all of our Actions Speak Louder programs on YouTube by searching Peggy Fox Actions Speak Louder playlist, or just follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook. And many thanks to the staff here at Fairfax Public Access, where this is being recorded. Take care and be safe.